Quiet and set.
Okay. In three, two, one, action. Hey guys, welcome back to another channel of the Plug Podcast. I'm Lerato
And
Moses,
I'm Chad Moses.
and in this video, we're going to be talking about how to create a podcast on a budget.
Okay, rule number one, what you need to do is like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Please leave a comment at the bottom. A plug emoji would suffice. Number one, before you get in front of the camera, what you're going to be needing in the pre-production phase is what type of video you
Yeah.
want to make, what type of podcast you want it to be. Examples of what type of podcast.
Is an interview type podcast, or a group podcast, more than 4 people, or you can have a reaction type of podcast.
Okay, so we're going to now bring it into context of the two of us because we are informational.
Yeah.
We found that it would be the two of us sitting down and having a discussion about YouTube. With this, it came with the understanding that we're going to be needing someone in the pre-production phase to do scripting.
Yeah.
So that's what you're going to need. Someone to
Research.
do scripting, someone to do research, someone to be the producer based on the topics that you're going to be discussing. From the producing and scripting of the topics you're going to be discussing, that will inform what type of venue you're going to be needing. From the type of venue you're going to be needing, which is maybe your bedroom, if you're an individual, or a garage outside in the world,
Yeah.
or just your lounge.
Or in the park.
Or in the park. Any of those will suffice based on what type of content you're going to be creating.
Okay, then secondly, you need to identify if it's going to be a visual podcast or it's going to be an audio visual podcast.
Yeah.
So this is example if you're going to be using a camera or you're just going to be using mics and no camera involved.
Yeah.
Then thirdly, you need to be with someone that you can speak to. If you're going to have an interview based, someone that you have great conversations with, that you guys are going to have a back and forth with, because
Yeah.
you're going to be yapping all the time.
Yeah.
And if it's a group based, preferably your friends, if I'm
Yeah.
not mistaken, friends or colleagues, or I don't know what type of group podcast this would be, or is it just going to be you that's going to be reacting?
Dependent on you.
It's all dependent on the creator.
Once you've now discussed your script, you're producing what type of podcast this is going to be, and you've now figured out what type of venue you're going to need. Now it's going to be coming to what type of equipment you're going to have to be using, maybe micro equipment or macro equipment. And the type of equipment that we're speaking to on a micro level would be your cell phone, your GoPro, your DJI, camera, maybe a camcorder, and to be honest with you, a cell phone or 2 cell phones would suffice based on what type of content you want to create. And 2 cell phones would also go a long way if you want to be creating a podcast like the two of us sitting down and chatting to camera. 2 cell phones, 1 mic, the two of you go back and forth whatever
Yeah.
you want to discuss. That would work. If you're going to be someone who's going to be doing something on like a macro level, that means DSLR cameras, mirrorless cameras, FX3 Pros, things like that, like studio equipment that needs sticks or tripods. That's going to be needing someone who's going to be doing your crew work for you. So usually with those, depending on the lighting of the environment, depending on where you are at, and depending on the safety of where you are at, you would then decide, okay, this podcast needs us to have this type of camera. And then beyond the camera, you need audio.
Yep.
So headphones,
Audio
microphones, omnidirectional stuff, audio mixer.
A laptop. If you do have a
If you
laptop,
do have a laptop, it is not a necessity.
it's not a necessity.
If you do-
There's a lot of There's a lot of apps that you can use on that's available that you can use for the podcast. So you don't actually need specifically all this equipment
Yeah.
in order to make a podcast.
Yes.
Just establishing that fact.
Yeah, so maybe an omnidirectional mic, your cell phone mic, a lapel mic from your earphone, a headphone mic. Those things do also help with creating your podcast, and these are all the things in the pre-production phase.
So what
So
happens
now,
when
once you finish recording your topic, once you finished planning out what type of topic it is, once you finished locating your location of where you're going to be filming this and recording it, once you figure out if you want it to be audio or visual, now we're going to be going into post-production. Where you're posting it, and what type of editing software you're going to be needing. If it's audio visual, your basic CapCut for a cell phone, your
Yeah.
basic DaVinci Resolve will be great for a laptop because DaVinci Resolve is free.
it's close to premium?
Close to premium, and like
Premium Pro now.
Yeah, and also it's basically based on the type of editing flow that you're going to be needing. Maybe that you're going to be having images based in your podcast, or if it's just going to be once again audio visual or audio based. Yeah.
So if it's an audio based podcast, there are apps. There's an AA
Apps. There's an artificial intelligence apps that can actually help you like
cancel
noise within the environment in order for
Your
sound to
voice
come
to come
out
out.
crisp.
so
Yeah.
that you can just take that audio and drop it in. There's also audio recorders on your app that you can use.
Yeah.
They will all be linked in below so that you can see those links. You can see those apps.
Yeah. Speaking of links below, like and subscribe, and don't forget to share and do all the fun things. Now in post production,
You've got everything
you've
you
got
needed.
everything. You've recorded everything you needed. What platforms do you go into? YouTube,
Spotify,
Spotify,
What is it?
even WhatsApp.
iPodcast, no?
Even WhatsApp, like WhatsApp groups,
Oh yeah, and
WhatsApp-
also WhatsApp story.
WhatsApp stories,
because
like,
they have that voice note
you have
thing.
that thing there. You can also do that. There's other platforms too. X, you can put it on X if the conversation that you're discussing happens to be of not monetized,
Deezer?
like monetizable standards for YouTube. You can put it on there because X has a monetization option.
Oh.
TikTok, Deezer,
Yeah.
spaces of that. Like think outside of the box.
Oh,
and
and you can also use a third-party website that will help you manage your podcast, such as Buzzsprout.
yeah, I don't know about Buzzsprout, but okay.
Buzzsprout is also like it helps you manage all the. It's a website where you post your podcast once, and then you can post on Spotify, iTunes, or iPodcast,
Okay.
all at once at the same time.
Yeah, you know what? Actually, what
it's
you know,
third-party websites.
you know, and this might sound crazy to you guys, but I saw something online of this guy who posted on an X video site,
Yeah.
a corn site, Mats. He put Mats on this corn site, and he got like 100 and something million views on this corn site where he was teaching kids maths. And do you know you can also get monetized from corn sites? So if you're smart about it and you're from this like you Gen Z or I'm at 2K, figure out a way of getting onto a corn site, put your podcast on a corn site, and then get those views.
That is actually smart.
Yeah,
that
like,
is really smart.
Think outside of the box on how you can monetize yourself. Be creative with it, and that's the basics of how to start a podcast.
Also, if you need to buy equipment or anything, don't go like high budget on equipment. You just need like 1,000 rand.
Yeah, you just need like $1,000.
Yeah.
And once again, like we said to you, if you have 2 cell phones, you can start a podcast because this is the yapping generation.
It's yappity yappity yap.
2 cell phones, you're good to go. Thanks
Okay.
guys for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
And leave a comment.
Yeah, you've been plugged. We didn't do this in the last video.
Bruh. Bye.
Bye.